students, this is the seventh part of our first truth, what is courage, which is written by William Smith. So open your book, page number 31, on this page number, third paragraph. Now listen carefully. Can courage be taught? So here, the writer is asking one question, can courage, boldness, can be taught to other person or anybody? I am sure, in the sense physical courage can. Now here the writer is telling us that in the physical sense, it means physical courage you can taught anybody. What in effect you must do is train the man not to draw too heavily on his stock of courage. So, particularly in physical courage, you can teach that person not to draw your courage lot of more than necessary heavily in any situation. Teach him what to expect, not to be frightened. Frightened, it means to filled with sudden fear. Not to be frightened by boogies. Boogie means an enemy aircraft or an evil spirit. What to expect, not to frighten the boogie by the unknown. So you can teach any person not to be frightened, not to get scared by any evil thing or by the enemy's aircraft or by any unknown thing. If you send an untrained British soldier to patrol in the jungle, so if there is any untrained soldier and you have sent that soldier into the forest for patrolling, for watching the whole area, taking control of the whole area. So what will happen? Every time a branch cracks, every time there is a rustle in the undergrowth it means bushes or shrubs grown among or under taller tree. When an animal slink across the track, slink it means go or move or walk silently. Slink across the track when bush move in the wind, he will draw heavily and unnecessary on his stock of courage, and he will come back a shaken man with a report of no value. So when there is any untrained soldier, so if you send that soldier at night for patrolling, for watching the border, taking control of the border, so that person, that soldier will not take control of the border, will not watch on the border enemy's movement on the border, but that person will get scared by little things. If there is any rustle sound in the small bushes, so he will get scared. If there is any sound of animal walking secretly on the trail, on the path, so he will get scared. So that person will not give proper report when he return to the base camp, and that time he will be completely shaking his hands and his feet. But if you train that man beforehand it means earlier or in advance. Let him live in the jungle, teach him its a craft. Craft it means skill. That then send him on patrol. He will come back with a balance of courage unimpaired. Not weakened. It means strong. So when you will train any soldier and send that soldier into the forest, so after coming back, that soldier spending the whole night in the forest for patrolling, for watching the enemy's movement. So that soldier will, you can see, completely strong. That soldier we cannot see weakened by anything, by any thought. So they need physical training for physical courage. And probability means maybe, there is possibility. A couple of Japanese helmet into the bargain. Into the bargain it means in addition. So first thing, you cannot see that a trained soldier frightened, but in addition you can see that soldier may have killed one or two Japanese enemy, and you can see in his hand one or two Japanese helmet. It means he did nice work there as a patrolling, as watching the movement of enemies. Next paragraph. To teach moral courage is another matter. Moral courage it means mental courage. So teaching any person about the mental courage, moral courage is a different thing, and it has to be taught because so few, if any, have it naturally. So if any person is having naturally mental moral courage, so there is no need to teach that person. The young can learn it from their parents, their home, from school and university, from religion, from other early influences. So young people, young person, young boys and girls can learn this from their parents, society, religion, school, college, university. From this area, they can learn mental or moral courage. But to inculcate it means gradually and firmly establish in someone's mind, but inculcate it in a grown up who lacks it, require not too much teaching as some striking emotional experience. But when you will try to teach this to the grown up people, to the adult people, so that time you will face some kind of difficulties, because he may have some kind of lacking which were required for the moral courage. Sometimes some things that suddenly burst, it means strike suddenly or violently on him, something in the nature of a vision. So there may be many possibilities that there could be some kind of pressure, some kind of emotional pressure, some kind of violent strike on his mind. There could be any natural vision in his mind. There may be many problems. Then you can get difficulties to teach any adult grown-up person than any younger person. That happens rarely, and that's why you will find the most men with moral courage learned it by percept. Percept it means precept, rules of moral conduct. So, for example, you can see that many people who learn about moral courage, they learn it by the percept. It means they learn it by the rules of moral conduct. What kind of moral rules we need to follow in society, through that they can learn moral courage. Example, in their youth. So they need to be learn this in their youth. Then those people can be very courageous mentally also in their adult age also. So in this way, this part ends here. We are going to stop here. Have a good day to all of you. Thank you very much.